thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Alright, first thing first, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. The scoring yesterday was abysmal. It really was abysmal. It's strange because I remember 10, 15 years ago, maybe, no, actually about 10 years ago, we used to, and I say we, as in Brits, we used to absolutely destroy German scoring. The German and US scoring. It's almost like you can't get a decision in Germany, you can't get a decision in the US, and we were kind of proud that, you know, a foreign fighter could come over to the UK and get a fair shake. That myth has been busted years ago, but yesterday just reaffirmed it for me. I had that a couple of rounds to Josh Taylor. So for the judges to give Postal a couple of rounds in the whole fight, it's just taking the piss. And I guess if you're Viktor Postal, when you hear those scoring, it kind of makes you think like, well, there's not much I could have done to win that fight. Other than put Josh Taylor down, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, I wouldn't have won that fight anyway. So they're going to need to look at that, because you always get a lot of the big US fighters. Every time you hear kind of interviews done by the Charlos or even Adrian Broner, when they talk about or being asked about coming over to the UK, they're always like, no, we're not going to get a fair shake. And that's not a good thing. You want to think that some of these big fighters, and that's what we want to see. We want to see some of these big fighters come over to the UK, fight on these shores, so our fighters don't have to keep travelling for these so-called big fights. But with scoring like that, and commentary as well, I think Alex Arthur in commentary was just shocking, right? I mean, Al Bernstein trying to rein him in a couple of times, but it was shocking. I wish we had Paulie Malignaggi on commentary, because he would have called the fight exactly how I was seeing it. That was a very, very close fight. Even with the knockdown, it was a close fight. I had it level with the knockdown, and then I had Josh Taylor win the last 2 rounds. So that's how close I had that fight. But yeah, that ran over and done with. We need to look at the scoring. Hopefully, the British Boxing Board of Control can kind of start to look at this. I don't know if they have anything to do with it at all, actually, to be honest. Probably not. But they can hopefully look at the scoring in future fights and do something about it, or we're going to lose some of these big fighters coming over to the UK. Especially when it's voluntary, especially when they don't have to come over. Mandatories, okay, fair enough. Voluntaries, they're not going to come over. Alright, back to the fight. Josh Taylor, what a fantastic performance. What a fantastic performance. And I think it's even more fantastic when you think it's his 13th pro fight, right? You've got a lot of fighters nowadays that are hiding behind their 0, don't want to take a step up. We're learning, we're doing this. I think as soon as Josh Taylor beat O'Hara Davis, it was almost like, okay, he's clearly above British level, let's move him. And then he took a fight against Vasquez, okay, he's maybe above fringe world level, let's move him again. Then Campos was a step up, and Viktor Postal's clearly world level. That's how you should progress for me. We get a lot of British fighters, I think, that are clearly above British level, and for some reason, whether it's down to their promoter, their manager, or them, stay there and get stale. Bradley Skeet. I remember when I watched Bradley Skeet against Eggington. Beat Eggington. I think he beat Eggington convincingly. To me, that's it. You're above British level. What did Bradley Skeet do? Well, he decided to stay there. He stayed there for so long that he became stale. And then when he did take a fight against a fringe world level guy, we all saw what happened. So I think what they've done with Josh Taylor is good. It's fantastic movement. Yes, you're rolling the dice a bit, but when your numbers come up, it looks great, right? And this is how I think you should be on that kind of ascendancy to a world title. Again, I hate to compare, but British level fighters, and I really am moaning, because I'm British, I can do this. What they do is they take the easiest route to a world title, get the world title, come up against someone that is world level, and just look embarrassing. And I just feel like Josh Taylor and Cyclone Promotions, Barry Mcguigan, all that team, Shane Mcguigan, are doing a fantastic job with Josh Taylor. He's a guy as well that I feel like clearly has gears in fights. Clearly knows how to go up gears. I thought for the first maybe 3 or 4 rounds, you could have given those rounds even, right? It was kind of a close fight. I think I even tweeted out, this is going to be tough. Viktor Postal looks strong. Definitely doesn't look like he's kind of on the downside. Looked good. Viktor Postal's jab was fantastic. Fighting at long range. Even in the pocket, Viktor Postal looked strong. And that's supposed to be Josh Taylor's territory. But then you kind of seen that Josh Taylor went to the corner. Shane Mcguigan, who I'm going to kind of talk about in a minute, gave him instructions. And he kind of went another level up, I think. Went through the gears. Had that wobbly round I think it was round 7 or 8, where he had the gut check, and I love that. I want every single fighter that's coming up to have a gut check. Let me see what you're about. Had that gut check, came through that gut check, and then I think started to really go through the gears and kind of, in the end, like I said, move away by a couple of rounds. What I like about him and the relationship with Shane Mcguigan is that they seem to understand and listen to each other. I listen to corners all the time between rounds. I always want to hear what the cornerman's saying. And you get some of the worst instructions ever. Like, you just get some stuff that's just, okay, no. There's no way a fighter's listening to that instruction. What I like with Shane Mcguigan is that the orders are simple. Very simple. Double jab Josh. And then you see Josh go out there and double jab. Josh, move around a bit. Move to his right a bit. Throw that big right hand again. Don't load up too much. And Josh seems to listen to every single instruction. And I think that relationship there is good. And I actually thought the relationship between Carl Frampton and Shane Mcguigan was good. They seem to have that kind of relationship as well. And as well does Shane Mcguigan with George Groves. So, I mean, there was a lot of talk about Shane Mcguigan not being a good trainer or a good coach. I disagree. I think a good coach or a good trainer includes maybe 6 or 7 fundamentals. And he might not have all of them, but I think he's got at least 4 or 5. And I feel like we're seeing that with some of these fighters now. I don't know what next for Josh Taylor. Obviously, he's put himself in a mandatory position now. But in that mandatory position might not come for about a year. So I kind of wonder what they do next with him. I don't think he's the type of fighter that wants to take a year out. So I wonder if he's going to maybe take a step down a level and have an all Scottish kind of showdown with Ricky Burns. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a level above Ricky Burns right now. But it's a fight that I think the Scottish fans will like. It's a fight that will fill the Hydro Arena. And it might be a good scalp for Josh Taylor to get. But look, congratulations to Josh Taylor. Again, fantastic performance. Went through the gut check. Showed us what he's got, and he's got a lot. And I definitely feel that he'll win that WBC strap. I really do. And one thing I think that will definitely happen with him as well is he'll go through the weights. I'm not saying he'll win belts at 147 or 154 or even 160, dare say, but he's definitely big at the weight, isn't he? I mean, he really is big at the weight. And he looked even bigger yesterday. I don't know if he's almost gone bigger. Viktor Postal was considered one of the biggest 140-pounders, and Josh Taylor probably looked a bit bigger than him in the ring. So I don't know if he's going to struggle with the weight in years to come. I don't know if that means he's going to maybe move to 147 quick. But good luck to him. Eddie Hearn, for years, has tried to crack that Scottish market with Ricky Burns. He had a couple of big fights up there. Obviously, Terence Crawford came up there. So he done well, but this is definitely the new King of Scotland. And if they can get maybe a couple of other local Scottish fighters underneath him on undercards, I think, we've got a major superstar there. We already have that, but it'd be good to get a couple more local Scottish fighters fighting with him. But well done to all the team. Fantastic night of boxing.